Hey there. So, this is part 2 of our episode on the 7 things that you need to know as you are looking to search for colleges and create that college list. So, super excited to finish this out and then our special bonus content at the end. Stay tuned. Hey there, I'm Courtney and I'm the founder of Confused to College Ready. With over 15 years experience as a mental health therapist turned school counselor, I am bringing my experience and expertise to help you navigate the college search experience. My goal is to serve students and their families and unlock the secrets to college searching. Stay tuned. All right, so the next thing I want to talk about is access to different support services on campus. So the first thing that this could include will be if you had any kind of 504 or IEP when you were in high school and you received accommodations. Now, the college isn't going to specifically ask you if you had any accommodations. You have to self-disclose, you have to self-identify. So that's contacting their Office of Disability, Office of Accessibility. Each college might name it something a little bit different, but you are reaching out to them and saying, hey, in high school, this is the plan that I had. I received these accommodations. And so can you talk to me about how that's going to work at college and what accommodations I might expect? This might be for something with learning. This could be something for a medical reason. So reaching out to those services is incredibly helpful. The other area to consider is going to be if there are any certain types of organizations or clubs or other things that are on campus that are important to you. Is inclusivity something that's important? Now, this could be a variety of different things. This might be based on religious preferences. If you are wanting to access any kind of religious services, this could be based on race. This could be something, are there any kind of specific fraternities or sororities that you are looking for? Are there programs on campus that are encouraging diversity, encouraging inclusivity, encouraging equity, encouraging equality? Are there services that are for people based on their sexual orientation and how they identify? And are those things that are important to you and that you want to make sure are part of the campus that you are going to? Do you want to make sure that there is support of women and that is something that you want to have prioritized at your college? Make sure, if that's something important to you, that you are looking to see if the college offers something in relation to that particular area. Career services is incredibly important. Are you able to complete a career interest inventory? If you change your mind, you take a class and you say, oh my gosh, I don't want anything to do with that anymore. And I will raise my hand as that I was one of those people. I was originally a music major and ended up deciding that was not for me. And so I spent a lot of time at the career services office, completing career interest inventories, looking into different careers and majors that might be a good fit for me. They also had help with resume writing. They had help with interview skills, maybe looking into internships or mentorships or other things for you while you are in college. And so those are several different areas that you can consider. Do they have any kind of tutoring centers that are available to you on campus? This could be a math tutoring center. Maybe if you are taking a language or in your department, there are different tutors that are available. The other thing that a lot of colleges often offer is a writing center. And so you're going to end up writing for the rest of your life, whether it be emails, whether it be that you are texting, but that communication is incredibly important. And so a writing center, this doesn't mean that you're not a good writer. It doesn't mean that you are that you need, that you are less gifted or less able in a certain area. It means that there are people who are there, that their job and part of the fees that you are paying are to be able to access that those tutoring centers, that writing center, so that they can help you become the best writer that you can, so that you can be the best student that you can. Another huge thing that we have seen, especially since the pandemic, are our mental health needs have increased dramatically, and going to college can be a very challenging thing. So one of the things that I want you to consider is there are often free counseling services that are available on campus. Some of that might be for specific to mental health. There could be some addiction services, and that could be drugs, that could be alcohol. I went to college where there was a huge casino, and so they had information on gambling addiction that people were able to access. Also, health centers, do you need to be able to go in for a sick visit easily instead of having to go to an emergency room, or being able to access someone easily if there's something that you need? That is incredibly important as well. So all of those services are important for you to think about. What is it that you need and want most out of your college experience? So that is support services. All right. So next we have activities. So again, we've referenced this a little bit, but what kind of activities are you most interested in? Do you want to be able to have access to shopping? Do you want to be able to have access to different things to do during the school year, during the weekend? What kind of environment are you looking for? Is athletics important to you? Are you really hoping to be able to play, whether that be a rec sport, whether that be that you are a college athlete on the college team? Or do you want to make sure that you can attend football games, that you can attend basketball games, that you can go to those different activities? Or is that something that, if they have it, great. If not, then that's fine too. Again, we talked about the accessibility, we talked about inclusivity, being able to have access to the organizations that are most important to you. One thing to consider is if you end up needing to take some summer classes, what does the campus look like, and what does the town or the city look like during the school year and during the summer? And that often can be two completely different things, that once the school year starts, that the population in that particular town or city increases dramatically based on the number of students that are there. So that's something that is helpful to consider. And then clubs and Greek life. So is, like I said before, becoming part of a fraternity or a sorority, is that really important to you? Are there certain clubs or things that you want to make sure that you can be involved in? Always good things to consider. What are those top priorities for you? And then the final thing, as far as activities, might be your fine arts. So when you are looking at I want to make sure I really enjoy going to concerts. That's something that we do often. I want to be able to go to the theater. I want to be able to see plays or get involved in plays. Whether you are a drama major, a theater major or not, is that something that you can get involved with when you are on that college campus? So again, just things to consider when you are looking at how to prioritize. All right. And then selectivity. So we've talked about a lot so far. The selectivity of a college is how selective are they going to be when they are looking at accepting a certain percentage of students. So one of the things that you might have heard before are safety, match, and reach schools. And so a safety is one where you are your criteria, your test scores, your GPA, your qualifications would put you in that top 75-ish% of students who would be accepted. A match is where you're kind of at that 50%. You are pretty sure that you would be accepted based on those pieces. And then a reach is where you really are in that bottom 25, if not lower percent. Some schools are looking at 5 to 7% of their applicants that they are actually accepting, which can be, and so those are for some of those more elite or Ivy League schools. It's almost like, I've heard it called a lottery ticket, but like, you just don't know. It's above and beyond a reach, that it is kind of a lottery. You don't know if you're going to get in. And some of that is looking at what are the colleges, looking at their admission rates, looking at the average GPA, class rank, and test scores for prior classes. So if you are going to be graduating in 2024, looking at what is the average incoming freshman class for this year. So the class of 2023, what was their average incoming GPA? What was their average incoming test score? So that you know where you fall in line in comparison. If you are a student athlete, or if you have some type of audition process that you have to go to, maybe you are looking into being a theater major, or you are looking into something as a music major, and so you have to audition. Those are all parts of the selectivity process. And so colleges are looking above and beyond the GPA, the class rank, the test scores, the class rigor or difficulty that you took. Some colleges are going to have a specific program or school within the college where you have to get admitted into that college as well. So, for example, I live in South Carolina. So in Clemson and University of South Carolina, maybe you are interested in nursing. So not only are you applying to the university itself, you also are applying directly into that program. And so one of the things that might happen is that you are going to be either accepted into that particular major, or they might say that you are being accepted into a different major or as a non-major, and then you have to apply to that particular major later on down the road. And so it is very beneficial for you to see what, if you are deferred into that major, you're accepted into the university, not into the major, you really want to make sure that you are looking at how likely is it if I go through all of these classes and this entire program for me to be accepted into that major later on down the road. All right. I know this was a lot of information. I want you also, as far as selectivity, to look at what is the admission rate for that college. And so that goes back to that safety, match, reach, all of those different pieces. So let's do a recap, and then I'm going to give you our bonus organization tip. So your college prioritization criteria, we are looking at selectivity. We're looking at the different activities that you want to be able to be involved in. You're looking at your major or course availability, the affordability of the school, different support services on campus, the size, and the location. So my organization tip for you, and before I give you that tip, I would love, if you have not already, if you would subscribe to our channel, to if you are watching on YouTube, if you would follow us on Apple Podcasts or subscribe on Spotify, whichever platform you are listening on. If you are listening to the podcast, please leave some comments. Let us know what has been helpful, what other questions you have. That's the best way for me to know how I can better help and serve you. And our bonus organization tip is what I would suggest that you do as you are looking at how to prioritize the different colleges and what things are going to be most helpful for you is create a spreadsheet. I want you to create a spreadsheet with each of these areas on it, so that you can say location, where am I looking? Size, what kind of size am I looking for? You have a list of what the priorities are for you in each of the areas. If you watch this on the YouTube video, then you can see I have mapped out different prioritization mind maps for you, and it goes into each of the 7 areas. And so you can go in, you can pause the video, pause the recording. You can go in and really look at what's going to be the most helpful for you. I want you to do that because when you are going to look at those college websites, it is going to help you tremendously to know, okay, so I want to make sure that they have a football team where I can go to the games and that athletics are a really big part of the college experience at this school. Are they bringing in different musicians, artists, concerts, different things that I can be part of? I will tell you right now, I even had in my college alumni group, people were recently posting about, hey, what was your favorite concert that you went to however many years ago you were in college? So super helpful, super important that you are creating either a spreadsheet or a Word document with this information so that you can go back later on and make sure that you are meeting those criteria. I hope this has been helpful. I would love to hear from you. Please take care and good luck. Take care. Bye-bye. Thank you so much for listening to our podcast. Please subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes. You can find us on Instagram and Facebook at Confused to Ready, and download our free guide on how to start or expand your college search at confusedtoready.com/how to start.